Morning folks, welcome to an OCC Queensland Daily Weather Up today, the 2nd of the 2nd, 2023. My name's Chris Nitzo. This update brought to you by our major sponsor townsvillesheds.com. Check them out if you're in the market for a shed-safe, accredited shed. Got a weak circulation off the Fraser coastline. That's going to be tracking south to southeastwards and weakening over the next 24 to 48 hours. But we may see a very weak surface trough located just inland of the southeast central eastern coastline, which is going to result in some isolated convection this afternoon, this evening across the Torres Strait. Look at this. Big rain up there, big rain and storms associated with a monsoonal northwesterly flow. Along the monsoon trough, we've got a circulation that's developed across the Kimberley, which has pushed eastwards through the Northern Territory and is pushing now eastwards into northwest Queensland. You can see enhanced rainfall there, particularly north of Mount Isa, with some strong showers and thunderstorms up in the Gulf country. And we're already seeing shower activity increasing across Cape York Peninsula. Alrighty, looking at our convective precip today, we can see significant rainfall from this morning onwards across the Cape and Gulf Country region and parts of northwest Queensland, particularly north of Mount Isa. We can see some isolated convection also possible across the central eastern interior and the central east and southeast coastlines. You can see some isolated convection already popping up there by around about 1 p.m. Alright, as we progress through the afternoon, we can see this convective precip isolated across southern and central eastern Queensland. We can see much more scattered convective precip right across northern Queensland, particularly northern inland Queensland. As we progress into the later afternoon, evening hours, we can see that convective precip extending to the coastal regions of northeast Queensland as well. Through the night time and early morning hours tomorrow, widespread convection is possible across the Western Cape, the Torres Strait, and potentially even parts of the Gulf country. We are seeing a fairly sharp drying out process temporarily across northwest Queensland tomorrow. We're also expecting to see moisture returning back towards the Mackay-Whitsundays region tomorrow, with widespread showers and thunderstorms extending further southwards tomorrow compared to today. Looking at our instability indices, the Showalter Index is reflecting some weak instability across southeast, central eastern parts of the state, some weak to moderate instability across far northern parts of the state early in the afternoon. As we progress to later in the afternoon, we can see significant instability across northern inland and northeastern inland Queensland. So widespread showers and thunderstorms are likely to develop in that very unstable region. Plus there's a nice little sharp boundary there around northeast Queensland's ranges through the back half of the afternoon into the evening. And you can see this instability around southeast central east Queensland is maintained with a weak surface trough just in there. So anything east of that point could see some isolated showers and thunderstorms. And we see that unstable region extending to and offshore of the coastline this evening and tonight in northeast Queensland and central east Queensland as well. So the idea is that storms shouldn't just stop on the ranges, they should be able to progress through to the coastline. And rainfall between now and tomorrow morning. When we speak, we can see northern inland Queensland doing very, very well, particularly northwest inland Queensland, north particularly of the Flinders Highway region. That's where we're seeing the best opportunities for heavy rainfall over the next 24 hours. We're also seeing widespread monsoonal showers on the northwestern and western coast of Queensland. We're seeing showers and thunderstorms extending into the eastern coast of Queensland. You'll notice that some of this rainfall is extending through and past and onto the coastline into the offshore waters as well. So that means that we've got decent steering winds for thunderstorms, which are going to be tracking them towards the coastline. Further southwards, you'll notice a little bit of isolated convective precip across southern and central parts of the state, and we could see some reasonable falls of rain in areas that have seen some very good falls in the last 24 hours as well. As always, showers and thunderstorms are hit and miss. It's not going to be as simple as looking at a chart like this and going, I'm guaranteed 30 mils of rain. That's not how it works. Showers and thunderstorms will produce locally heavier falls than what's being shown here, but showers and thunderstorms will also may miss you, and you'll see a lot less rain than what's being shown here. As with always, we always say use these models with caution, and just because it didn't happen in your backyard doesn't mean it didn't happen. Bureau of Meteorology have also issued a heatwave alert for eastern Queensland. We've had it nice over the last few weeks, so it might come as a bit of a shock to you that it's going to warm up over the next few days. So you can see there, quite warm, severe heatwave in parts of eastern Queensland. Winds, you can see this weak circulation off the southeast, central east Queensland coastline. It's remaining offshore, but those southeasterlies might just kick up a bit to 10 to 15 across southeast Queensland. Elsewhere, winds are pretty light across the near coastal waters. Once we get offshore, they get a bit bumpy. And you can see here northwesterly flow from the monsoon increasing to about 15 to 20 knots out there through northwestern parts of the Cape York Peninsula region. You can see those fairly strong winds maintained through most of the day today. Overnight tonight, You can see those northwesterlies just kicking up a touch a little bit closer to the coastline through the evening and nighttime hours, and then into tomorrow morning you can see a bit of a circulation from the trough system coming up through the north, and you can see just a bit of squeeze in that northwesterly flow through the Cape. Across Western Queensland, we start to develop some pretty gusty southerly winds through the overnight early morning hours tomorrow. Want to know more? Head over to join.ozcyclonechasers.com.au. We're talking about lows next week. We're talking about potentially a cyclone off the WA coast next week. There's a lot going on across the north. Head over to join.ozcyclonechasers.com.au to find out more about it. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching this video.